Hi folks, thanks very much for joining me. What I want to talk about today is some new lines for the still waters. They're from Airflo. They've sent me 3, and without further ado, let's get into it. So I've got 3 lines to try. I've got the 6-foot slow intermediate tip. I've got the 6-foot fast intermediate tip, and I've got this 12-foot mid tip, which is an intermediate tip. Now, in the good old days, the choice of fly lines used to be limited to a floater, an intermediate and a sinker. Now we've got a plethora choice, and Airflo's been a leading light in this really. I'm a big fan of their sinking lines. They're absolutely superb. And I would go as far to say as if you're a competition angler, you're more than likely to have more than 5 or 6 of them in your box. Sink tip lines are nothing new on the market. Airflo got into the game a while back with some low stretch midge tips, but then they brought longer lines into play, and they've been very popular, especially amongst still water competition anglers. The lock style guys are all over these, but these are being redeveloped and repackaged as you've seen. And the first thing you've got to do though is put them onto your spools correctly, and I'm going to show you how to do that now as an aside. So when you take it out of the box, it comes with a line holder. All the Airflo lines are the same. You'll find that there's a couple of tags each side that hold the line in place. You want to be looking for this piece here, and what it says is reel end. So I want to attach this part to the backing that I've got here ready from my reel. So I'm just going to undo the tags. I've seen this done so poorly, and it does affect the line. If you don't put it onto the spool properly, then it may cause you some problems when you start to use it. So I've taken that out, and I've now got the reel end in my hand. So there's a welded loop on the reel end, and all I'm going to do is pop my back in through that loop and put 1, 2, 3, 4 turns in, then pop it through the loop that you've made, and then it comes back around down through the hole, and then you can tighten the whole thing up, and that's going absolutely nowhere. Just trim off the end, and there you've got your backing attached to your fly line. So now we've attached the fly line to the reel, you do need help at this point. Best to get a friend, but if you can't get a friend because of social distancing, you need to use a member of your family. Now, I've got 2 small children, and it'll be a tough negotiation to get them to help me, but I'll see what I can do. Okay, once you've got your backing attached to your fly line, and you've got your volunteer, or bought your volunteer in this case, it's a simple case of getting a pencil or a pen, putting it through the hole of the spool guard, and then simply winding it onto your reel. Make sure you hold it tight, Lou. I just leave the little white ticket on the end of the line, because you can, if you ever have to take it off the spool again, you can identify quickly which part goes back on. But on these lines, I have noticed that at the welded loop at the front, it's got a mark with the line, the size, so it's really clever actually, and just common sense. Remember, Lucy, it's £2 for the whole job and not £2 a turn.
You said £5.
I didn't say £5.
Yeah, you did.
Really? Well, for £5 I expect the stairs to be hoovered and all the crockery taken out of your room. That's a deal buster. We'll have a chat about that off camera. there we go. So the what? Oh, for God's sake! Give me my pencil. Beat it. So once you've got the line on the spool, you're ready to go. All we need to do now is find some water. Well, I said we needed a piece of water, but I didn't mean any piece of water. This is Rutland water behind me, and I've come to put the Airflo 12-foot intermediate tip through its paces. So let's get in the boat and see how it performs. The lines, the Airflo lines, I think they're absolutely superb. When the fish stopped showing themselves, I switched to the Airflo 6-foot slow tip and got straight back into them again. They just dropped down a couple of feet in the water, and I think there was a cold wind came over, and that's just knocked it off altogether. But I'm going to keep going for another hour or so, because I don't know when my next chance will be to get up here. So, well, what's the verdict then? So I've been using the Airflo 12-foot intermediate tip, the Airflo 6-foot slow tip, and the Airflo 6-foot fast tip. Now, how did I test them? Well, obviously I fished with them at Rutland, and they cast lovely. And what I did with them, to give them a fair sort of shake, I cast them both on a very fast action rod, which is the Competition RS2, and I also cast them on a medium action rod, which was the Helios. It's advertised as a tippy rod, but actually it's quite a soft action rod that goes all the way through. Now, I think they were suited to both rods. They cast no problem at all, but I really enjoyed using the slow tip with the Helios. It just it sung through the rod rings, and I used the slow tip for the bulk of my day's fishing, I would say, because that was the line that was catching fish. It lay on the water straight as a die. Now, in the past, Airflo's had a bit of a reputation for their floating lines as being, I think they've been called slinkies by some people, and I suppose that reputation was warranted. But 20 years ago, the stuff they're producing now is just far superior. I've always sworn by Rio midge tips. I've used them for years. I really like them. I've seen all the other ones come on the market and thought, you know what, it's not as good as the Rios. But now that I've got my hands on these, I think I will be keeping them, and the Rios will be retired, shall we say. But yeah, really enjoyed using them. They're great lines, and I can thoroughly recommend them. Thanks very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of skip with me and my daughter. It was just a bit of fun. But if you're enjoying what I'm doing, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time.